Good evening, it's Saturday the 1st. It's just coming up to 5 o'clock and I've come back over to the little pool where I was fishing last night. If you remember, last night I was hoping for some tench and perhaps an odd carp, mainly tench, but I didn't catch tench. It was mainly the roach that I caught, and the tench, the carp and everything else down that end of the lake were real noticeable by their absence, which is strange because the wind was blowing down there, but there was more activity up here. So I packed up last night and I've come back tonight. There's somebody at the end of the pool, there's people down that end of the pool, but I wanted to fish the middle anyway, and the swim I've chosen here is about not quite halfway down the lake. It's a little bit shallower here than the other spots because it's got some weed growth and a few lilies just round this edge here. That tells me that it's a little bit shallower just here, and I've already plumbed up in line with the tree over the far bank. I'll pan the camera around shortly, and I'm literally fishing at no more than half rod length out. And what there is here, there's a bit of a shelf, then it drops down a bit and then it goes off down onto the slope, and I'm fishing just down on that shelf at the moment, or that's where I will be fishing. It's exactly the same setup as last night. So I've got a 2BB antenna float, I've got 1.5 BB round the float, I've put a number 6 halfway down here and a number 8 about 6 inches from the hook. It's the best part of, because this is an 11-foot rod, so I'm probably at the best part of 9 foot, 8.5, 9 foot, just down on that ledge, so much deeper than where I was last night. Baits exactly the same I've brought with me. A little precarious here, as you can see, but I've brought sweet corn again, and some more micro pellets, and I'm just going to feed these in by hand at the edge. I've got a tree on the far bank that I've lined up with, and it's casting a shadow here, so it's absolutely perfect because I can just see the float in that tree. The wind's died down tonight compared to last night, so it makes float fishing just that little bit easier. So just a few grains of the micro pellets and then half a dozen grains of sweet corn. I'm going to fish at sort of regular intervals. Ooh. There's a fish there. Once again, there is some up on the top. It may be that I have to shallow up and just drop a bait in really shallow, perhaps swap over to pellets and just keep catapulting pellets in and fish shallow. But hopefully the tench will be further down in the water, and it is still tench that I'm predominantly after. As I said, there's a number of carp, there's a number of still water chub, but it's tench that I'm really after. I am literally just 3 or 4 foot out from the end of the rod here. Ah, that sun's blinding. And what I'm hoping is that the fish patrolling the lake will be coming round and feeding along that edge there, that marginal shelf. I'm fishing just laid on the bottom at the moment by about 4 inches, and the reason for that is because there's still that breeze down here. It is trying to drift the float. Hopefully as the breeze perhaps drops off a bit more, I'll be able to inch the float down. So I'm just touching the bottom. Oh, here comes Barnstormer-Bill. Never very far away over here. I think he follows me around. Last night, or yesterday afternoon, evening time, just before I left, saw an awful lot of activity up the sides here. So I'm hoping that that's what's actually going to happen, is that as the time goes on now, the fish are going to come closer into the sides. Oh, there's some bubbles. They look quite tenchy bubbles. Oh, little dip on the float. Some bubbles right by the float. They didn't look like carp, they look more like tench bubbles, which is what we're after. Come on, float. Quite a few bubbles. Oh. Oh. I don't normally get too frustrated, but when I'm filming I tend to get a bit more annoyed with myself when I miss bites, because obviously I'm trying to catch one for the camera. Try again. Got the clutch set fairly light because obviously I'm fishing so close in here that if I get anything it's really going to belt off. Oh, would you believe it? Somebody's setting up opposite me. How annoying. Yes, here we are. Ooh. Oh, I'm having one of those nights. Oh dear, never mind. All these things are sent to try us. Just try again. I'll turn the camera off a moment. The one that got away, eh? Oh well, try again. There's a little bit of weed down there. I pulled a bit up when I was plumbing the depth. There's a few strands here and there, and I think it went straight round one of them. Never mind. I think I'll turn the camera off for a bit until we get something. Right, I've just weighed that. 16 pound 2 ounce. Just roll it over. Ooh. I've only got my travel kit with me, but that's not bad, is it? Quite happy with that. It's not the tench I was after. I would much rather have caught some tench tonight than last night, but as a consolation prize, I'm quite happy with that. Anyway, we'll put it back, I think, but it'll do. It's in very good condition, absolutely excellent condition, and caught on the float. You know, 1 on the float is worth 10 on the lead as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, I think I'm going to end on this particular fish because the chances of catching something else are very slim. Now it's just ploughed all through the swim. But I will fish on for a little bit. If I do get anything else, I'll add it on. But in the meantime, once again, thank you ever so much for watching. And until the next time, all the best with your angling. Well, there we go. Let it go. 16 pound 2 ounce. Not bad, eh?